Yeah.
We have some folks here like myself, 13 years. We have Carl, which has been here for approximately 25. Jamie Kirby, about 37.
These guys that I look up to as like uncles or brothers or, you know, my dad, been around forever. So it's like, if I put the work in, I could probably do the same.
That we as a group provide such an environment that people want to stick around that long is very humbling. You give them the tools to do what they need to do, and you adapt to them rather than asking someone to adapt to you. Garrison & Garrison was founded in 1972. My uncle Max worked for a gentleman. The gentleman sold the company to my dad and uncle, and they were off and running. My uncle Max passed in 1999 as a result of a plane crash. My dad passed in 2004, and my mother was sole owner at that time, and she passed in 2007. My brother and I became the owners, and my brother passed in 2016. So in the course of just a few years, they all passed on. I had to take over a company that was never meant to be ran by a single individual.
He told me more than once that he did not just inherit the business, it come at a cost. It means we have to be on top of our game because nothing's came easy for him. On my first interview, I came here at night and I met with David, and he says to me, if you're willing, I'll build a company around you. And what he meant was, I'm gonna treat you like you wanna be treated.
It's a lot of hard work, but it's just like going to work with your family every day. Literally for me, yeah. I've got my son plus 2 cousins that work here with us as well. Everybody looks out for everybody, you know, we all do what we can to take care of each other.
There again, if you have any problems or need anything, you know who to call.
Go team. I'm again.
All right, everybody in. No. The area we're in now is my coworkers affectionately refer to as Area 51. It's my little corner, my little hideaway.
David has an attention span like a cat. He cannot sit still. He cannot not build something. If he can buy it for $150 or he can build it for $800, he'll build it just so he can put his name on it.
A lot of things that's happened to me, to my family, doing the fabrication projects and whatnot, that helps me with that. If people need me, they know where to find me.
I've really gained a lot of knowledge from David, just in the way that he approaches people. He's someone that you can really try to impress, and he's never going to be impressed because you're already good enough.
My coworkers sweat and bleed every day for me, and I will for them. There's guys around me right now that, I mean, they just do a phenomenal job with such a spirit of excellence. They may as well be my family.
Nobody's ever told me this, but I feel like it's my job, as well as a lot of other people here, to make sure that we do what the founders started and then what David continues to do. My son just turned 9 years old in June, and he wants this place to work out because he says that this is where he's coming to work. So it's my job to make sure it's here when he's ready. At the end, it always works out. It always has.
In the lifespan of this company, there's been 6 family members who have spent an accumulative 160 years working inside this business. My coworkers and I have been able to carry on that legacy. Is a very, very satisfying feeling. To be able to look back and know that we built on what they started and what they built. They're 100% the reason that I'm sitting here today in the position I am today. Because those guys worked, man, they worked.
Since they were pups, Max and Molly have been coming to the office with me every day. The staff love them. It's a great stress reducer.
You know, it's nice to come in and just have somebody that's just able to lean up against you and let you know that everything's going to be all right. So they're kind of stress relief and mascots and just company leaders all together.
Stanfield Air Systems was started in 1968 by my father, Lynn Stanfield. I ended up buying the business from my father after he operated it for 20 years. And now it's been passed down to Rex, and now he has a son that's involved in the business and is the operations manager. So it's being passed down from one family to another.
I was 17 years old and I went to work for an air conditioning company with no concept of what it took to air condition or heat a home. One of the things that struck me when I came to work here in 1988 was that sense of family. You know, immediately, if I needed help with something, they helped me with it.
When we have employees come in, we see them as family members, and we treat them as such. We're not necessarily looking for the best HVAC guy. We're looking for somebody who has the same values as we do. Wealth can be monetary, it can be filled with the presence of people that you love and people that you care about. I feel like that's important to build the community as the community helps build you. Ashton, all you guys have been turning in good leads. Dylan, might as well just go through everybody. Fernando, Jacob, Sam, because everybody in the room is turning over good quality.
The first year that I owned this business, I thought I knew what to expect, but it was like being shot out of a cannon.
So then the third year, COVID hit.
Yes, it did. And that was probably the most terrifying time for me. You know, telling people that I don't have work for you. These people are like an extended part of my own family. And if I can't provide for them, my family, they can't provide for their family. It was a very brief slowdown, then a very quick recovery.
This is your control board.
This part of the license, but the inside of it.
The
We
inside.
work in partnership with one of the local high schools to take in juniors and seniors who are interested in learning a trade. We don't bring anybody in that young and just throw them into the deep end and expect them to swim. You know, we show them how deep the water is.
There's something about being in the van with somebody in the field in a real world situation and actually seeing how that problem's taken care of, not on a workbench in a classroom setting. As a matter of fact, every student that's ever walked in our door is still employed here.
You do not have economic development without a talented workforce. Part of this program is to try to teach those students that they have local employment opportunities here. And that is something that Stanfield Air Systems has done.
Athens is a very tight-knit town. The people that we serve are community focused. They're going to value honesty. They're going to value quality. Look for things to say, okay, what is it going to make this customer really, really appreciate what we're doing? They're going to say, okay, I did not expect Fausto to take my trash up from the driveway. I didn't expect Andrew to take my Christmas decorations up into the attic. So look for those things today to try to go above and beyond for customers. I know it's really hot. If somebody came to your grandmother's house and your grandmother was just okay with them, that's average customer service. That's what most people expect. That's what most people do. We want the one that your grandma talked about, how great they were, how they reminded them of you, or whatever that may be. That's kind of what we're looking for.
It may not be the most profitable thing to do, but it's the best thing to do. I guess my question would be, why wouldn't you do it? Because it just seems to be a natural thing to give back and to help people who need help.
Working as a management with my father has actually been really an ease. He had faith in me and faith that I was going to do a good job when I didn't have faith that I was going to do a good job.
In April, I had a total tear of the quad ligament, and so I was off my feet for quite a while. That gave Nathan the opportunity to build the tools he needed to excel. And I think he has proven himself to be more than the boss's son, to be someone who can lead this company into the future.
We opened the business back in 1978, and it was a means to take care of each other for my family.
I was actually born in '76. Before I came home from the hospital, they took me to the parts house and let everybody look at me. So that's where it started, and I picked up on a lot of things over time. Learned a lot, saw a lot. It was fun.
At an early age, he was able to fix units. I mean, he would tell me what was wrong before we got there, and he'd be right. And I knew then he was something special.
A few years ago, we moved into this much older home. It needs a little bit more tender loving care when it comes to a good HVAC install. Knowing Travis for years, I knew that I was going to go with him, and with Climatech, it was a no-brainer.
All right, this bedroom will line up with a 12x6. Climatech derived from two companies coming together. It merged together well because my dad and I still have the same views on treating customers and how we treat people. It's always been a goal of mine to have the highest quality business in town. Whether I have 4 employees or 50. If somebody thought that of my business, I would feel like I was successful.
We always told our guys it's more important that we go there and we do what we can to help than it is to leave there with a big invoice. You know, I've seen people that I knew didn't have the money to pay us, and I fixed the unit and drove off.
My parents, seeing the way they treat a customer, the way they would go out of their way for a customer, helped me to treat customers the way I do.
Watching that family interact together, the entire Thompson family, they love each other so much, and you can see that and you can feel it, really, just being around them.
Brad was my youngest son. He was 16, 9 days when he was in a car accident, and he passed in the accident. You know, when he died, it was a setback. It affected the whole company. We were not built for a tragedy. I hate to say it, but with all the family working here, I had nephews working here at the time, and my wife was working here, so it was a big blow to the company. Losing Brad, though, made us look around and realize that, you know, we could make a difference. We founded the Miracle League of Pensacola.
The Miracle League. It's like a baseball league for children who have physical and mental disabilities, and it gives them an opportunity to play baseball.
I've actually watched kids come to that park that couldn't walk and would end up walking, and their parents would tell me it's because of that field.
Mom and Dad spent a lot of time, you know, in the development, getting everything in, getting the fields in. You know, after they lost my brother, they wanted a purpose. They wanted something they could do to try to give back.
Donna and I met at high school. She was very good at what she did. I don't know of anybody that was better. When she passed, I can't think of a single customer that didn't send a card, call. She made us all better at what we did.
My mother, I could go on and on about, but that one's tough to talk about. She was a big part of everything here. I've always wanted the business to be successful because I know she would have wanted that. That is something that always is in the back of my mind, to make sure her legacy keeps going. Whether it be this company, whether it be my son, whatever it might be.
First truck we ever bought, red, was because my dad, his favorite truck was a red truck. You know, if I can accomplish in my lifetime and make the impact that my dad, my mom, my father-in-law, if I can leave a mark that's good, then I've been a success. Hopefully, you know, as I go on, Travis and Tracy and the family and Sandra will be proud of what I did. If you do what you can to help, then everything works out.
Yeah, I agree.
Biggest part is you.
Well, no, it's not. And that's something that I can't say enough. I can't do a single thing that I do without you.
So maybe we'll get Tradley into this thing and he can take over for you.
Ooh, that's scary.
What makes you happy is the people that's in your life, and can you make a difference? And I've been very blessed in my life to help a lot of people, and a lot of people have helped me. So I feel like when I help somebody, I'm giving back what somebody gave me when I was young.